post player. She was physical, those kinds of things. And we won 18 or 19 games. So you can't constantly second guess yourself.
Right.
So we had 6 seniors in that group, and 4 of them, maybe 3 of them were posts or 4s or 5s. And Katie did have to learn the defensive system. I remember having some conversations with her high school coach about how she played, because their high school team was always known for their defense. And I remember Coach Bloom saying, well, she wasn't the best defender, and, we had to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, I think, that and the adjustment to the physicality. There was no question of our offensive skills or ability to get up and down the court. But it was a stance. Those are the hardest adjustments for any high school player to make, is the defensive adjustment and the stance and the physicality and I think we saw a lot of natural talent. She called herself the black hole. When I listened to her, I don't remember what it was now, and that was kind of her nickname because the ball went in and never came back out. But she learned over the course of time that she became a better passer, and then, of course, last year when she burst onto the scene and everybody was wondering where did Hillsdale come from, she started to see double teams, and then her passing ability started to get better. And I remember her turning the ball over a lot more last year than she did this year. And I think she was the only Division II player to have 100 blocks and 100 assists this year. And I'm probably most proud of that statistic and her rebounding statistic rather than the scoring, because I think the scoring is probably the more natural ability, and the other stuff is extremely hard to do. And, I think, do I question myself back then? Certainly, because a lot more now when you're looking back. But
I remember those teams too, Coach. I mean,
yeah.
we were all there, and you had Crystal Yoder and Nikki, and they were good. And in fact, you did something that Nikki's senior year, which I'd never seen before, which was you took one of the GLIAC Freshman of the Year a couple years prior, Nikki Wussman, and you benched her. You started Crystal Yoder. So that just shows that you really just do what you think is best to win games at that time, regardless. And you've also always stressed that you don't really put a lot of emphasis on who starts the game so much as, But the point of the matter is you had no idea that she was going to do what she did. No. Nikki, I guess the natural question to ask, and I hate to do this with your coach right here, but I'll ask one more tough question, and then we'll go on to the good stuff. Did you consider transferring? Were you frustrated with not being able to play? Did you think about maybe trying it somewhere else?
I was thinking more of transferring to not playing rather than to transferring to playing somewhere else.
Okay, how so?
Going to, just U of M and being a student. But I stuck it out, and it worked out well. And also, I just want to say that those girls, they came in with the 6 of them, or 7 actually at the time, being in the same senior class. So it was very hard for the younger girls, I think, to be incorporated into their style that they had, developed over the past 2 years. For us to, me and Claire to come in, they had their spots filled. No one had left the team from the year before, so it was very hard to break in and get, into their chemistry, get them to pass, the ball like they would to their other teammates. So it just was, the team was a lot different then than it was the last 2 years.
If you would have played those 2 years, you would own every record ever. You pretty much have them all now. But the fact of the matter is, it worked out pretty darn well as it went. You had 2 incredible years. And let's go, you make the decision, I don't know how seriously you were, but you make the decision to stay. You come back as a junior. Wussman and Yoder are gone. Okay, now at that point it was, Coach, I need to play, right? There's nobody left in front of you. I still
think she wanted to start other people over me, though. I think she was looking at those other
even coming back as a junior, you were not positive that you would be a starter?
She might not have been positive.
You were positive.
I was positive.
Nikki, did you do anything? Because I think the urban legend is that, between her sophomore and junior year that summer, she must have played basketball 24 hours a day to get that much better. Was that the case? Did you put in a huge summer of basketball ahead of your junior year?
Can I cover her ears when I say this? I probably played more golf than basketball. But I mean, I love working out. I mean, I would play tennis. I would do the elliptical. I would I worked out, would maintain lifting and things like that. I didn't accelerate my basketball program that summer. Like I played the most probably between my junior and senior year, which is it is what it is. But it's hard. It's hard to motivate. So obviously, if I would have known, hey, you're gonna be able to play 40 minutes a game, maybe I would have worked harder my first 2 years to get. That's always the problem, motivating girls who aren't playing and to get get there to make themselves better for when they do play.
When practice started your junior year, this isn't really that long ago, so we're talking about the recent past. You practice and that kind of thing. It looks like you're going to start. You're feeling good about playing time. You go and you have that exhibition game with Notre Dame that has become a legend. You have 20 some odd points. When did you know? What was the moment in time when you knew that you were going to be very successful playing the game of basketball? What was the first time? Was it at practice? Was it in games? When did you know, hey, listen, I think I'm going to be pretty good?
I don't know if there's a specific point.
Right.
It just, the Notre Dame game, I remember feeling like Michael Jordan because I was hitting all these jump shots, and it seemed like I was just playing and I wasn't coming out, and it seemed like I had a million points when, because I just never, in the last 2 years, had never scored more than, 12, I guess. But that game happened, and that was really exciting because it was against good competition, and obviously we lost. And it wasn't very close at the end. But, I think, I had gotten to play those minutes, and I was, working on my conditioning throughout the game, so that was a lot different. And then the first tournament, I got tournament MVP. So that was really exciting. I got the GLIAC Player of the Week for the first time. And obviously, I didn't even really know they had that. They have it now.
Yeah. And nobody else does, but you do.
Yeah.
So, Coach, look, junior year practice, you knew coming in, you had her penciled in. The games start. Did you know pretty soon that you had something pretty special here?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell in practice, and I look for other things.
Right.
I look for, the ability to get up and down the court, the ability to defend a little bit, how the team is going to revolve around what, Katie's doing or what Claire's doing or what whoever's doing. And I felt we were going to be pretty athletic. And then, I was a nervous wreck going into Notre Dame because they're always a nationally ranked team. And we were going in there and I just thought, oh, my God, what am I getting myself into here? And what am I getting my team into? Because if you get blasted, then, do you look at, oh boy, I don't know how we're going to do. But a couple years before we, I think 2 years, I'm not sure if it was your junior and senior, your freshman and sophomore year when we played Western.
Yeah.
We beat Western the first year, and then, the second year I think we lost to them, but it was still close. I felt we had a pretty good thing going, but when I saw her against Notre Dame, I thought, her and Julie Slott too, because that was really Julie Slott's first real, time to shine, so to speak, and I thought, okay, if we can be somewhat disciplined and we can, put the system together, I do think we're going to be pretty good, and I think Katie's going to have a pretty good year. I did not expect, 24 points a game, and but I expected, we might have a first-team all-league player here, and I think for all those potential college athletes that are out there, you don't walk into any college program and just set the world on fire. I mean, there are people that, I think players need to understand you do have to pay your dues a little bit. And, whether you think it's right or wrong, those kids that have been there before you have put in a lot of time. And, maybe, that particular group of kids did it a little differently maybe than I would have liked to see. But at times, we worked very hard at it, and they did what they had to do, and we won some games. So, but I think when Katie came along, I saw something different. I saw maybe our team being a little different, and I saw the chance of maybe, the possibility of if we can get enough good players around her, we might be able to win a championship here. And with this group of kids. And, I don't think people understand how hard it is to do what we did this year. And I don't know if people understand how hard it is to do what Katie did this year. We won't see this in quite some time.